Hi, my name is Martha. I'm a sexologist based in Singapore and my company is called Eros Coaching. Today I want to talk a little bit about desire. All of us have desire. We want something, maybe an ice cream, pay rise, a big house, a new car, a beautiful dress perhaps, or maybe an invitation to a ball, a party, a movie. We have little desires and then we have big desires. We have big and small desires. And sometimes, because we have all these desires, we judge ourselves on our desires. Like, oh, you're a piece of shit, you know, you're a loser. You want all these things, you don't go and get them, therefore you're a failure. We have all these desires, and maybe perhaps the reason why we are not reaching and going after those desires is because it's a small desire, it's not a big one. If you really wanted something, wouldn't you do it? So what happens to the bigger ones that you really want? Maybe they're not big enough and that's why you're not really doing anything. So there is this yin and yang, masculine and feminine energy that governs the world that we reside in. So I like to introduce the concept of being and doing. So the doing is I want this, I want this, I want this, therefore I need to get this done. I need to do. And we get caught up with all the things that we need to do, and sometimes we focus on the wrong things, wrong in a loose sense of the word, not really what we want, because we have all the small ones and then we have the big desires. And sometimes we need to have a balance of that. And one of the ways in which we can have it is by not the doing, but in the being. Sitting with what you want. And you're not doing anything, you're just sitting with it because maybe the time is not right. Maybe it's not big enough for you to do something about it. So why be so hard on yourself for not doing anything? Just to give you an example. When I first started my practice, I really wanted to run a pre-orgasmic women's group. I put the word out there. However, I didn't get any response. Also, if I want to be honest to myself, at the back of my mind, I did wonder, do I have the emotional strength and the mental fortitude to actually take this group of women through this process? Even though I know the process, was I confident to lead a process? It didn't happen. So many years later, I tried again. And last year, what happened was I almost got the group. I had one lady who said she was committed to signing up for it. And I was like, it's just one lady. So I decided to cancel the group. And what happened was just a few days before the group was supposed to start, I got a whole bunch of other inquiries from women saying they want to join the group. But it was too late because I already made the executive decision of canceling the group. So what happened then was that I wasn't going through a good patch because I was feeling a little bit burnt out and tired. And so that wasn't a good time. Even though I really wanted it, I didn't have the physical or emotional strength to really do it. So wanting something and having the ability to do it needs to go hand in hand. So what happened was later on, I decided I'm just going to do it for 2016. I put the call out there. The same woman who wanted to sign up said, I'm going to commit, I'm going to pay. And I said, okay, let's do it. Even if it's one person, even if it's just you, I'm going to run it. Because I'm not going to back down anymore and weaken myself by saying, yeah, I want this, but, and give myself all kinds of excuses. So I was making commitment. So what happened was 2 weeks before this workshop was going to run, I started getting more inquiries, and then that's when we are now running this group. It took me 8 years to run this group, and this was something that I really wanted, and it was always there at the back of my mind. I wanted this group, I wanted this group, I wanted this group, and it was sitting at the back of my mind waiting for me to be truly and completely ready until I could manifest this group and make it happen. What happens when we stoke that fire? It becomes a magnetic desire. It becomes a big desire, and it has its own way of pooling the right people, the right resources, the time, the energy in order to make this happen. And in some ways it's magical. So this is what I mean by desire. And it is important to really get deep and real with ourselves instead of getting so caught up with the doing and the steps, and we're not really focusing on the why. Why do I want this? I know I want this. Is this the time for it? Is this a big enough desire to propel me to doing, versus forcing yourself and inching yourself each step of the way? Because when your why is so big, the universe conspires to make it happen. It was not difficult getting this group running. The determination, the getting ready was just part of the process of me really truly being ready for this group. And I can dare tell you, I really am truly ready for this group, because 8 years ago I had all the mental intellectual knowledge of how to help women who are pre-orgasmic become orgasmic. I had all that. However, through the years I've also learned other skills like developing a lot of empathy and also intuition. I now not only hear what people say, I can sense what they say, and I know better what exactly to say to fit to what they need to hear from me, so that they get the most value from the session. So there will be some coaching and facilitation in that workshop. And also I've learned other things along the way that is not just about medical sciences. It is also about spirituality, which will make the group much more holistic and complete, because now I also learn a lot more about nutrition and how this relates to someone's orgasmic responses. So I'm making this little video because I want to share with you what it means to have desire, what it means to be in the state of doing versus being, and I'd like to invite you to sit with your desire. Don't judge yourself, and to allow yourselves to recognize that having magnetic desires is beautiful, because you actually attract what you need to make magic and big changes in the world that we live in. I learned all this through my teacher Rachel Jane Groover, and she was the one who taught me. She created this practice called the Art of Feminine Presence. I'm one of the teacher trainers, and I've been running the Art of Feminine Presence since the start of 2015. So it's been a year, and if you're interested to find out more about the Art of Feminine Presence, you can come for one of my preview sessions. And from there, if you are really interested, you can sign up for one of the weekly classes. So talking about desires and magnetizing your desires are things, and some of the things that we do share at the Art of Feminine Presence. And as you can tell, doing Art of Feminine Presence, facilitating Art of Feminine Presence has changed me and changed my life for the better. And I'm very certain that people who come for the preview will get a lot of value out of it. So this has been Dr. Martha Tara Lee I'm a clinical sexologist, and my company is called Eros Coaching. So do check out my workshops, and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. In the meantime, keep loving, live life fully, and stay lovely.